receive mantles? Number one, through alignment. Through alignment, you must align. Mantles are sensitive to accurate alignment from the vessel that intends on wielding them. Mantles aren't released merely because you want them. We must align to them and the requirements that those mantles come with. A mantle will not fall upon you merely because you want it. Perhaps you may need a mantle to affect the academic space, and there is a patriarch you saw, someone that walked with God closely and affected the academic space in a way. You don't receive that mantle merely because you just want it. If it was just people wanting it, everyone would carry something. But mantles are sensitive to people aligning. You must align to that mantle. And when you align to that mantle will alight and rest on you. We have too many people that are passionate but lacking intentionality. And that's the major problem of every Christian. Many of us Christians, especially the Pentecostals, that's why people keep saying, "Wapente, wapente, wapente." Why? Because many of us, we are so passionate and zealous, but we lack intentionality. We don't do intentional things to get to where we want to go to. So every mantle will require an alignment pattern for that mantle to rest on you. The mantle did not rest on just anyone else. It rested on a man called Elisha because he aligned and that mantle fell upon him. The mantle will not fall upon you when you are not aligned. And that is why you must align yourself to the house of God. You must align yourself to the presence of the Lord, because you will not receive mantles in a club. Why do you think you will receive a mantle in a club? How will it fall on you? The only mantle you will receive is mantles of darkness. Those, they fall in that club. That is why you find someone starts going to the club and they leave with more than they came with. All of a sudden you notice there are certain tendencies, certain appetites you never had. You find that you now have those appetites because you are aligning to the wrong pattern. And you are wondering why your life is going in the direction it's going into. Why won't it go in that direction? Pastor, look at the way my life is going. You spend the entire time in the club. Some of you are students, but you are in the room with men. So no, we're doing Netflix and chills. What is Netflix and chills? You must align yourself. Some of you, there are things you must let go of to align yourself to the accurate pattern of God. You must align to that pattern. Where does God want me to be? There are things that God will not confer on men until they are in the presence of the Lord. Haven't you noticed that sometimes God will come to Moses, speak to Moses and tell Moses, go to the mountain and there I will speak to you. If I were Moses, I want to ask God, you are speaking to me now. Why don't you talk to me now? Imagine I meet Seth and I'm saying, sir, let's meet at Levi Mwanawasa. I will talk to you from there. You will say, but Pastor, I'm here, you are here. Why can't we talk? Because there are certain environments upon which certain utterances are made. It is not every environment where certain things will be spoken. And so if you are to be a believer that will align to what God wants to do in your generation, there are certain